Hello, you beautiful people, and welcome to You, Me, and the UKTC, the show in which we deep dive the UKTC mission pack and tell you everything you need to know in order to be successful at UKTC events. Many moons ago, it was the job of Mr. Ed to create a wonderful series in which he spoke about all things necessary, and it's now my job. So let's see if I can manage it. Let's crack on. So today, mission number 2, it's Purge the Foe. You know it, you love it, maybe you hate it, depends on what army you're playing probably. The way this works is that you get 4 points for killing one unit, 4 points for holding one objective, 4 points for killing more, 4 points for holding more objectives. You don't get the kill more in round one. Yeah, it's an interesting mission. It's divisive, but I actually personally quite like it because it involves you really thinking about using your units effectively. Um, in terms of the additional rule, we've got smoke and mirrors, which is putting a battle line into strat reserve after deployment. Um, According to stats, Death Guard love this mission. Who knew? But yeah, other than that, it's probably not going to come up a huge amount for that many armies. So, our general approach, if we think about how we're scoring our points and what an average score is, if you hold one and kill one each turn, that's it's actually going to get you 36. I've written 32 there, but you get 4 points for killing one unit in the first battle round, but none for holding. 36 points is fine. Does open the door, obviously, to secret missions actually scoring you more than that. So, yeah, definitely keep your eye on this mission for a secret mission. Unless, of course, you're in a good place in which you're able to lock down the middle to be getting a hold more, or maybe they've just got a lot of MSU units and you're just able to be consistently killing more than them, in which case you're probably not going to be thinking about a secret mission. The top left-hand one, where the 20 joins the 8, that is your natural expansion objective if you deploy on the bottom left-hand corner. You want to lock it down to be preventing the hold more, but it's not the end of the world if your opponent knocks you off it, simply because you're still going to get a hold 1, and then as long as you're able to knock them back off it, it's fine. I mean, if they take the middle and knock you off your one, then you've got to try and deal with 2 objectives, but other than that, you're generally fine. Inherently, big advantage going second here. That's because you're able to know what you need to kill in order to score the kill more. So if you do go second, it's really important that you are constantly monitoring that situation. Conversely, if you go first, it's a bit of hiding to nothing really. You either have to be really aggressive and just blow your opponent out, deal with all their damage dealing units, or you have to be incredibly careful with what you give up and play like kind of a really defensive game. But you also know that they're almost certainly going to get a hold more at the end of the game. So that might be coming about because maybe your army is really good at secondaries and they're not, and you just want to hold on, basically keep the game close. Because of the nature of the mission, it's really important to be thinking about your cards, how you're scoring them, and what you're using to score them. So, for example, let's say we go first, and turn 1 we draw engage on all fronts. So we send our unit up to one of the corners in our opponent's half to get a baby engage. Unfortunately, they then kill that unit. They've now got 4 points. We didn't get 4 points for engage, right? And that was therefore actually you've lost a unit and you have lost out on that points trade there. So because of that, it's actually really important you're thinking about what are you offering your opponent up to kill in their turn. And I think quite often we just move our stuff out and like, well, I'm going to kill that, that, and that. And we're not actually thinking, well, I'm going to kill that, that, and that, but I'm going to lose that, 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 and that. And now you've lost out on the kill more and hold more, or the kill more, sorry. And points mean prizes, right, guys? So just something to really bear in mind there. You really want to be thinking about your choices of what units you're offering up to be killed, basically. On this particular map, there's a lovely area in the middle for staging units. In the old maps, that wasn't kind of there, and your natural expansion objective was quite safe. It's not so much anymore, which means that people can put units behind that middle L and then can send it over to your natural expansion objective quite effectively. UKTC does use the 1 inch can't be charged rule, so if you can line that L, then perhaps there's a bit of safe space there. There is a giant shooting line across the middle of the board horizontally. Um, it can be used to get some angles. Obviously, you'd hope you're not stood out in the open, but it can happen. But yeah, that is one quite large shooting angle. Um, if you have a look around the edges, there's actually some quite nice spaces for strat reserve units to go. So if you're kind of, I don't know, like a CSM player with Forge Fiend, Vindicators, that sort of thing, actually maybe putting them in strat reserve is quite nice for getting some cheeky angles there. Unless you're playing against an army that is happy to spread out 5-man units and just block space, in which case you're probably a bit screwed. But if you're playing into more of an elite army or middle ground army, there might be some good spaces to drop down, especially in the mid board. In terms of secondaries, lots and lots of great places for sabotage. I mean, if you look at your top left-hand corner where the 20-inch one is, just sit in that little corner, sabotage. In that middle L, just off the objective, sit there, middle L, can't be shot, basically. Yeah, like sabotage on this particular terrain layout is quite nice. Containment's very easy in the top left-hand corner for exactly the same reason, because of that wonderful little L there. Trying to get the extra one on the right hand side, if you get it kind of like as a draw first turn, is a bit harder. If you have units kind of deployed kind of just behind the bottom edge of that piece of terrain in the middle there, you can move across and get there, but you're probably losing the unit. So yeah, some armies, especially more elite based armies, might not be able to score 6. I always try and say, just you really want to try and get that 6 because 6s are so good. But yeah, you've got a very safe 3, but quite a tricky 6 on this map. And again, you've got access to denying the big area denial, and you can establish locus from that middle out, which is a very common theme in UKTC missions. So there you go, guys. That is Purge the Foe. Hopefully that's got you thinking. Again, get that terrain out, get deploying it. I think quite often, especially that big middle L, people are like, oh, maybe I'll get shot. And actually, that is a very safe to be putting things. So make sure you're measuring out your opponent's threat ranges and angles, and you might be able to generate some good stuff, some good shooting there. But yeah, probably my main piece of advice is like genuinely think about each unit you're using. Am I getting value out of this for the kill one and kill more? I think that's really important to know. And as always, just go second. See you for mission 3, guys.